Hi, Tony. We're on the.
Hi, Amber. How you doing?
I'm really good.
I'm really
I
good
just
too
enjoy
because I get to talk with
free
you.
time.
And
Oh
wow,
gosh,
what we watched you. This is like the Truman Show. We watched you grow up on television.
it's really true. It's funny when I meet fans that say, "Wow, like I've been watching you ever since I was a little kid," and now they're coming back with their own children, and I go, "Oh, it's just full life circle."
It is, and congratulations on 18 seasons of Heartland. I mean, you must be doing something right. Um,
And the whole team, but yes, I think the horses have a lot to do with it.
I was told once by Russell Crowe, of all people, who said, if you have a horse in a scene, it's not your scene anymore. It's the horses.
It's true. Children and animals. But I also feel like horses make my job easier because they are just present, right? They're not trying to act, they're not trying to be anyone but themselves. So it almost forces you in a way just to be present with them.
Is that why people gravitate to the character of Amy? Is because we all want to be horse whisperers, you know?
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, growing up as a horse crazy girl, I wish there was a show like Heartland that I could have watched. I spent every moment of my free time with my horse. And now kids that maybe don't have the opportunity to be around horses get to experience them through the show.
What goes through your mind when you think about 18 seasons of playing the same character, but every season, I'm going to interject this, and every season she's not the same character. She has grown with every season. It must be an actor's dream to play someone like this.
It's almost unheard of to be able to play a character for almost 2 decades now. And I myself, as a person, have gone through so many changes. I think that your 20s are your most transitional period of your life. It's when you're really trying to figure out who you are and who you want to be and your morals, your values, your friends. All of those things are so essential in your 20s. And not only was I figuring all of that out, my character was doing the same at the same time. And so we were kind of learning together in a very strange way. And to have an entire globe of people watching that process is very unique. And to be able to have that ability for your character to change, I think is amazing. Because I look at some shows where they're kind of trapped in a time warp. You look at Degrassi, where it's this high school setting, and it doesn't matter how old the actors are, they're still playing in that high school setting. And so I think for myself, being on a show with this longevity, but also being allowed to grow and to experiment and to just become a new character, I think is really cool. And for those who have watched the show over the last 18 years, I think my character has always remained true to her core and to her roots and her values. But we have seen a lot of growth. We've seen her start as this 16-year-old girl who grew up and got married and had a child and then lost a spouse and then had to grieve. And there's been so much that has happened in this poor girl's life. And I look at it as something that is such a good message for a lot of women and men out there who have gone through similar experiences. And just to see her be able to push forward and have that family dynamic of, raising her child, but still being there for the rest of her family and her family being there for her. And just exploring all of that and being with the horses, I think is something that is also so healing, not only for the character, but for the viewers as well.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think her journey has been everyone's journey, and this series does not hold back on sensitive subjects and things like that. I mean, it's been right up there in front with everything that's going on in the world.
Yeah. And I do think, obviously COVID was a very hard time for a lot of people. And we did take a little bit of time off from filming. But one thing I loved is that when we jumped back into it, we didn't quite address that. We weren't all wearing masks. We weren't, because I think a lot of people felt very isolated and very trapped. And then when they watched Heartland, they felt like they were part of that family dynamic, living out on a ranch, not not a care in the world, so to speak. And so I do know that a lot of viewers found the show during COVID and they
Yeah.
said, I just needed something like that. I needed something where I could sit down with my family and just feel that freedom of life on a ranch and just, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the horses, and it's basically just a breath of fresh air.
As we wind down our interview, and by gosh, thank you so much. You and I talked a long time ago. You won't remember, but it was on the Elizabeth Smart story, um,
Oh, yes.
a
A long, long
lifetime
time
ago.
ago.
But you are surrounded by some of the best people in acting and crew. I would imagine, we say this all the time, well, it's a family, but after 18 seasons, it's a family.
It's so true. And I always think, I say, one day when this show ends, and I don't know when that will be, but I hope that we have the chance to wrap our season up and to say goodbye to this group of people that have become our family. And I do believe that that also translates into that family realism that people see on TV. They see the bickering, they see, those little nudges and things that those friendly moments only occur when you're very comfortable with a group of people. You can act as long as you want and as great as you want, but when you really understand a group of people and they become your family, only then can you truly look like you are that family on television. And so I think that over the last many, many years, we all have learned each other's idiosyncrasies and things that, the buttons we can push just like a normal family. And in a way, we spend more time together than most families do. And so I think that that's something that's very unique to this show, and it's something that's special.
Well, Amber, I want to really thank you for your time. And I know you're a busy, busy person with family and producing and everything else you do. And thank you for cutting out some time with me.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Take care.
You too. Thank you. And we'll see you on season 500.
Deal.
Bye bye.
Bye.